Alright guys, I finally made the switch to a 4-seater, and the General was always a cool bike, but I never thought that I would pay the premium that these things bring until I found a used one. Let me tell you about this story. So I go to my local Can-Am dealership in the morning, and I am convinced that I'm just going to go buy an X3, the 72-inch wide Turbo R. It's going to cost me about 33 to 34 grand out the door, and in my brain it's just frying. I can't believe that I'm gonna spend that much money when my 2016 Razor 1000 XP cost $15,700 brand new from North Alabama. Okay, now that same model's $22,000. That's ridiculous. It's the same exact bike. I understand how business works, how inflation works, how supply and demand works. It doesn't mean that you or me has to be the sucker for it though, okay? These are 26 grand now, or more, okay? I wasn't willing to just go over this and go to an X3 or go to a Turbo R. That's a whole other story. Those are impossible to find. Pro XPs are impossible to find unless you're willing to pay some ridiculous markup. You're a fool if you do that. Unless you're rich. If you make, you know, 7 figures or high 6 figures, maybe it just doesn't matter to you. And that's okay if it does, but for the average guy, average neighborhood human, it doesn't make any sense. So I leave that dealership not making a deal because it was another $2,000 in dock fees and dealer fees. Sure enough, I'm searching again, and I see this on Facebook Marketplace 3 hours away. I made the deal immediately. And I'll just say that this was 1/3 of the cost of what I was willing to spend. It is by far the cheapest 2018 General 1000 for sale, I would say, in the United States, probably for the next few years. It's got 130 hours and 1,600 miles. And yes, you see some damage on it. You see some sun fade. It was left outside, okay? Part of the reason why it was cheap was also a divorce bike. This poor lady, she ended up paying all the money on it, and she was done. She was toast. And it was in rough condition when I got it. It wasn't clean. It had honestly been abandoned, almost neglected. Still ran, still started. But you can see the seat's pretty much roached. This is the only okay seat. This seat's okay. We'll start up on the bottom. This one's toast. Center consoles are faded. Door latch is broken. Fix that. But I have a plan for all this. The quality of Polaris's paint for this just being practically left, as they said, under a lean-to. I'm not sure what to believe. Maybe because the paint's still in really good shape. Let's look at the hood. It feels very smooth to be left completely outside. I think the sun, it got cooked from the side, like indirect sun. Yes, the tires are completely shot, but that made me happy, for the sake that this was just driven on concrete. Most of these miles were literally going down the road. What does that mean? The steering wheel, suspension bushings, everything feels rock solid, super tight, like no play at all. I'm shocked. A little bit of damage here. The paint can be buffed and the decals can be replaced. So a few places where the paint, it went through, right here. I'm not worried about that. It's gonna get scratched eventually, right? For these tires, I didn't even mind them being bald, because I have held on to my factory Razor takeoffs, my 29-inch bighorns. So that's the next plan of attack. And today, I went and picked up an OEM 2-piece Polaris roof, because this model does not have it. So the first step, my stage 1 build is going to do 29-inch bighorns, get the roof on. The cage does need some touch-up. These cast steel fittings are starting to rust just a little bit. I'm gonna mask them off and paint them. The rest of the cage is okay. I'll probably buff that just with the sake of the doors. I have the buffer out. This will be buffed, but it looks good. I ordered 2 used 2020 seats off of eBay, okay? They weren't cheap, but they're much cheaper than buying brand new. Then I can cycle this one to the rear, and then I'll just have to find one more good used seat, or maybe 2, mint condition seats, and then I'll have 4 new seats. Again, this thing was so inexpensive. I can afford to do any of these things and be okay. My stage 2 plan if needed, would be 30s, 4+3 wheels, and the XP fender flares, which are considered the XL fender flares, front and rear. Also, these rockers are sun beaten, but more than that, this one is broken over here, and not bad, but it does have a crack through it. $65 a piece. I mean, come on. Wipe that out, polish this, fix the decals that are torn up right there, get rid of that. This thing will look like a brand new showroom condition bike. And if it wasn't the showroom, it would be closer into that $22,000 range than what I got it for. The moral of the story is be patient, guys. You'll find the deal. They come and go within minutes. Minutes. I didn't even know the mileage on this bike and I committed to buy it. I didn't know the payoff history on it. I figured all that out during the day. We got things notarized. I got bill of sales. I got payoff letters from the bank. She did pay it off in full before I purchased it. Actually, a few days ago. Verified it with the bank. But just look at this thing. Really cool. All right, gotta get these tires off. Let's do that. Those will do. I am a fan of bighorns, so hopefully these look good and add a little hype. These are 29s, and those are some worn out 27s. So bighorns are known to run a little bit small. I think they measure about 28, 28 and a half. That's next to a worn 27. Let's actually roll it over here. A little more tread on this side. Not much. Should be good though. I'm already liking what I'm seeing. It just gives you more razor vibes in general. Those 27s always look small in these. And now, you know, with the XP, they really look little. All right, like what I'm seeing, let's get them on. That is pretty impressive. Again, for all that highway mileage, absolutely no play. Wheel bearings are tight, and all the suspension is tight. Very good. Something's a little off here. I said, you know what? Let me measure the back spacing on a Razor 1000 wheel. 5.5. Here is the General wheel. 4.5. So, this isn't gonna work. Off to the tire shop for tomorrow morning, first thing, but I gotta swap them over. I actually do like these wheels better. Just much more unique looking than these generic suckers. So, prolong till tomorrow. New day, and boy does it look good with these big horns. Factory wheels in the back of my truck. My local tire shop does an excellent job of swapping these. Always a fair price, and they never damage anything. So let's get them on the General and see what it looks like. I have been itching, barely could sleep last night, just thinking about getting these mounted. Would you just look at it? Big old thumbs up. You can find these for $400 on Facebook Marketplace all the time, sometimes even cheaper. That's the way to go. A set of 30-inch tires now is $1,300. I mean, come on, dude. I paid $650 2 or 3 years ago for the same set, and now they've doubled in price. Yeah, I will take factory bighorn takeoffs any day of the week. They do have a little more bulge. When I laid them down flat, they were 1 inch wider. You know, maybe the fender flares will look good. You can see in the rear. Little bulge in the rear. I think the OEM XL fender flare is gonna be the ticket. But for today, that's all we're doing. I can't wait to go test drive this thing. That'll be the next video. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Really helps, really appreciate it. And more content will be coming soon. And then don't forget that Kubota tractor is going to the dyno very soon as well. So stay tuned if you're a gearhead. I hope you like my channel. And hopefully this thing doesn't have any secret problems, because I am ready to ride it.